because while I was the RC, we reached a point where we appreciated the fact that civilian police authorities will not be able to manage the menace of banditry in the North Rift. They were ill-prepared, ill-equipped, ill-trained, and the terrain was very hostile, and they don't have aerial capacity to deal with that menace. Of course, at some point, I spoke with the then president, and he agreed even to send in the military. But we were just given about 10 days, which were not sufficient to carry out an operation of that magnitude. So for this one, I want to support the president, for the government, for this very bold decision, because that menace is getting out of hand. The level of impunity is very high, and we believe the military, with the right instructions, they can deal with that menace within 14 days.
Governor, talk to us about the last KDF in Laikipia. How was it? That experience, basically.
First of all, of course, we have got military camps in that area. What we requested for a bit of aerial cover, and that's what the officers did. They came, but as a security committee, we don't feel that they really helped us. Because the bandits, even after the area bombardments, the bandits were still there. They were getting bolder. The numbers were increasing, and I don't think we had any serious casualties on the side of the bandits. But we continued losing our officers, including very, very trained officers called SOG, properly trained police officers, trained for that kind of terrain. But we still lost them. So that intervention by the military at that time, I don't believe was adequate. It did not have the intended positive reaction that we had anticipated.
How about the military's preparing in Mount Elgon region to do with the SLDF? What do you say about that?
Yes, in fact, what we want to be done should be done alongside, like what was done in Mount Elgon. Even more, because as I've said, these bandits are emboldened. They are armed, properly armed. They have got sufficient armor. Some of them are very well trained because they are ex-police officers, ex-servicemen. And the security agencies who have been given the mandate, the responsibility to deal with this menace should not go there, not think that's just going to be like some kind of training exercise. It's actually like a proper war situation that they're going to face in that place. I've been there and I've seen these things happen. So it's not like I'm just talking, I've seen these things.
Do you feel that these are sufficiently supported by the government?
No, they are not. They are not. I'm sure if RCs were properly supported, of course, like there are security committees. Some of these things can be dealt with before they get out of hand. But you'll do a plan and then you keep begging, even just for the authority to move. It's not forthcoming. You want to get a bit of fuel. It's not forthcoming. Our officers actually were ready even to work without allowances, but that little support was not forthcoming. As I was saying, you call an officer, a senior guy, your immediate supervisor, they didn't pick your calls. How do you work? How do you work?
Perhaps what more can be done?
For now, assuming now the military moves in and is defeated, what is the last option? Those guys remove from Laikipia and they'll come and take over in the urban areas. So for now, we don't have any other option but to win and defeat these people. And let these people know that government is not a joke. That if you play with the government, and play with the government means killing people, stealing their property, and having a general disregard for the rule of law. You do that, it has consequences. If they knew that, and they can actually die, then this menace will be sorted out.
And also, maybe how disadvantaged are these law enforcement officers against the hardcore bandits? How disadvantaged are they?
As I said, they're ill-trained for purpose, ill-equipped, not motivated, no food, no allowances. The terrain is unforgiving. The supervisors, their bosses don't seem to care. You can imagine somebody is procuring cabbages from Molo and sending them to Kapedo. If it's asked to, you procure the cabbages from Molo, send them to state quarters in Gilgil, then now you send them to where? To Kapedo. That's after 1 week. By the time they reach Kapedo, they're rotten. Yeah? And that's the only food those officers are expecting. Rotten food in Nafika Kapedo. You know, so everything, the general working condition of police officers in the operation area is just pathetic. Given the responsibility they've been given, the level of support is bad.
Do you think there is a political goodwill to end the livestock rustling, cat rustling rather than these areas?
I can some political goodwill. Now, even President Uhuru Kenyatta had a lot of goodwill. But the people that are entrusted with that mandate they did not appreciate the enormity of the challenge. But I've got this feeling that the current president appreciates the challenge and that is going to instruct those who are charged with this responsibility to ensure that they do their job and do it well. Let's watch and see, because it's going to be in the public domain. Let's watch and see. I'll very quickly know if it's not serious, if it's just PR. If you hear people, the security agents are on the ground and livestock still being stolen, people are still being killed, people are still being displaced, then I'll just know that it's not just a PR exercise.
Do these fellows enjoy some protection from senior officers in the government, rather? Why do they survive?
They do, but those politicians are not above the law. Why do you allow them to offer that kind of protection? They're not above the law. The government has got the necessary machinery to obtain all required evidence to take even these people to court. Why doesn't it do that? It's not very difficult. Because when you are funding bandits, even if you're using proxies, you'll be found out. Because these are very serious crimes against humanity. So I believe with sufficient resolve by government, no politician will dare go fund criminals to visit this kind of suffering on fellow citizens.
Now, there's something about teen pregnancies in Narok County was with the commissioner there. That during that time you tried a lot and sort of you had married the situation. Maybe what was the secret?
No, of course, in Narok, what happened? Like in Transmara, there were serious conflicts between the Masa and the Kipsigis. I just moved in and disarmed those people without seeking for authority from anybody. I just went in. I had very good officers. They listened. I told them to have to get these firearms from these citizens, and we picked about 200 firearms in a place like Narok. Sophisticated weapons. Those guys have never fought up to now. So even this one, when I said that we need to disarm these people, they're not ripped. It's because I've got that experience of Narok, that you can disarm people. Because firearms are very, very dangerous weapons. So the trick was that, disarm. Even where they fight with bows and arrows, like in Narok South, that area of Ololonga, we went there and disarmed them. We told them to bring those bows and arrows. They brought them. They were burned in broad daylight. Have you seen anywhere there? The place is very calm. So even here, the moment you normalize crime and allow people to carry weapons in the open, they're going to use those weapons against each other. And as government, that's something you're going to do. Because even like a place like Isiolo, I was a county commissioner there. Police will meet with bandits carrying firearms. They just greet each other. We are napita na bundu yake, we are napita na bunduki yake. It's a normal thing. In this place, like you can't even carry a homemade gun. You'll be arrested. So why do we have different sets of laws for different places? The guys should be firm about all these things across board.